Hey everybody, alright, I already got all of the pistons out, except I left the number one piston in, and we're going to take that out now. And then I'm going to tell you about the little things that happened while I took out the other 7 and what I did about it. And I'm going to show you a whole lot of stuff before we're through with this. Okay, we got just this last piston to take out, and I'm using this bar to just, give some extra torque. I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday, it's interesting, I took off the other 7, and this particular one, I think I could have just about done like that. They weren't on, I don't know what they were torqued to, but they were pretty, I'm not going to call them loose, but they weren't like tight. These ones here actually to me weren't very tight. Then there were other ones I had to take this and just crank hard, and the engine was shaking back and forth. So I don't know if this engine has ever been opened up ever in its life, or anything's ever been done to it. I really don't know. I don't think so. I think it's original, but we don't know. When I got it, it was running. Before I pulled it out of the car, it would smoke, but most of the smoke would go away after it ran a while. So, I think the valve guys were bad. But we're going to be looking at all the other pistons here in a minute. Anyways, let's put, also, as you can see, I marked the pistons. That's number 1. And then I marked the cap and this. I keep everything the same, because I don't want, I want to put it back together. You don't want to have that end cap turned around. You all know that, but it's real easy to screw up if you don't mark them. So, now I'm going to tell you some other little things that happened to me yesterday. I even make sure that I keep these so they go back on right. See, the shiny side I'll want up, and the dirty side will be down. I'll just stick that there. And let's get this last one off. Now, that cap, I don't know if I can just pull it off with my fingers or not. Some of them yesterday, I literally could just take my fingers, put it in there, and pull that cap. They just can't. One of them practically fell off. Then there were other ones that didn't want to come off. They were like pretty difficult, you could say. And so this is what I do. Now, you could use this, or this. I was actually using this yesterday. Let's see now. See there? Get in closer. Let's see if you can see it, if it pops. See that? So that's what I've done to get these off, and I got to have her move. Go ahead and put it on pause. Now you see that? Sometimes these things get kind of caught up. This one, for some reason, is giving me trouble. So you got to keep knocking on it and playing with it till you get it off. And I'm fixing to, I'm not going to keep filming, but I will get it off, and then we'll continue. All right, I gave it a couple more good wraps, and she came off. Here's the bearing. All the bearings looked, in my opinion, to be very, very good. And we're going to look at that a little bit more in a second here. All right. Now I'm going to push my hand in, and I'm basically using 2 fingers, and I'm pushing up. That's as simple as it is. And then I just come straight over, because I don't want to get these screwed up. And I put the cap right back on. And this one here hasn't got any white on it, so it goes like so. And this one, of course, will go like so. Okay, we got them all out, and I'm trying to hold this thing so it doesn't fall. Okay, yesterday, number 2 and number 4 just came right out like, oh, they were beautiful. Then to get number 6 out, I had to take the oil pump and the windage tray off. And once I got that off, that one came out just fine. Number 8, that cap did not want to drop. No matter how many times I took my little wooden block and kept wrapping it and rocking the motor back and forth, that cap would not separate from the piston. So I went and took number 7 off. Now when I took the cap off of number 7, it dropped off. But the number 7 piston did not want to come out. I couldn't push it up by hand like you just saw me do with the other one. So I got me the stick, and you know, I had the engine turned around, but I got the stick up in here and got my little hammer and started smacking it. And the piston came out. Well, the piston actually came out. The 2 compression rings were showing, but it hung up on the oil ring. I don't know why, but it did. But so I had to use the stick and smack it to get it out. Once I got that out, then I could get number 8 out. Then you just saw me take out 1, and that one, for some reason, the cap, you had to do, smacking on top a number of times to get it to vibrate out. And the same thing happened with this number 3. Having said all that, got all the pistons out, and I'm just going to show you. All the bearings look good, and all the rings, literally, they still spin. I can take these rings, my assistant left, but I can turn these rings by hand. See, they're nice. They're nice, and everything just looks like it should. But I'm going to show you what happens when you got one that doesn't look like it should. Now this other 389 I got, and I made a video of it, they weren't coming out. I had to beat the hell out of that, and I made a video showing how I got them out, and I personally think it was a very good video, and I'm doing something that I didn't see any other people doing, and it's just me, an old guy in my backyard, and I got them out. And I wasn't in a shop, or I didn't have acetylene torches or anything like that. Of course, these pistons are shot. Now you look at those rings. I mean, compare them to these. Every single one of these pistons, the rings spin right in them. I mean, that engine over there is a really nice engine. It really is. But as bad as these were, the bearings, in my opinion, didn't look that bad. Here's some of them. I don't know if that's some stuff embedded in there or if it's spray paint, because I'd be doing a lot of stuff around here and it could be that. But I mean, to me, the bearings actually look pretty good. And I'll show you the block those ones came out of. This is the block. This thing was frozen solid, and it made it very difficult to get the transmission separated from it, but I did, and we got there. I think the block's still good, And there's, you know, some other parts in here obviously that you could probably still use, but the crank's good. But the pistons and rods are shot. They really are. And I might mess with it if I live to be 100. I don't know. But this engine had more sludge than I ever seen in my life. This is very, very, very clean compared to how it looked when I first opened it up. It looked like honeybees had gone in there and made honeycombs. It was just incredible sludge. And I just want you to take a look at that. What's there after I cleaned it a lot. And compare it to the other engine that I'm working on right now. Now I have cleaned this engine some, but it was very, very looking good inside when I opened it up. And as you saw, those rings look good. It's definitely what you'd call a very good subject for rebuilding. A lot of people don't like the 59 engines, but you know, 389 was, guys that want to, if you wanted to build a 389 pushing lots and lots of horsepower, you probably want to go with the 61 engines. And 5960, I think the 60s had that little snorkel thing on them too. But that's about it, and I hope that this helps somebody out. Thanks for watching.